Welcome once again, guys, to a brand new installment of the Visual Vapor Reviews. Today is Spectacular Saturday, and I got some good news for you all. We have finally landed a job. Now, admittedly, it is a humble job, but it is a job nonetheless. I'll be working down at Mediterranos in Hillsborough, the Turkish cuisine and Mediterranean cuisine place. So, even though I'm just a dishwasher, I might get some free food. Some good shit there today. I'm going to be doing work from 12 to 4 or possibly later depending on what goes on. It's going to be a pretty interesting day and hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff. Now, I've got some new flavors courtesy of a friend of mine, and those are the strawberry rush and cherry extreme. So those will be some really good flavors. But for spectacular or super spectacular Saturday and Super Saiyan Sunday, we got some nice stuff lined up for today. We're gonna be doing some trick shots, doing some flavor talks, and also some things about what's going to be happening. So we'll start off with the last thing I mentioned, some things that are going to be happening in the channel and what's going to be coming around. So a while ago, Central Vapors was a flavor company I reviewed for, and they did a whole flavor sampling thing. I've rescheduled for another flavor sampler and submitted my ID once again to try and get some more flavor samples. Sounds like a good way to get some flavor too. I'm really excited about that. I've asked for some fruity candy and some candy and some melon flavors, some stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna come in. I never am, but I'm sure I'll like it either way because those are the kind of flavors I like. Right now, I'm rocking the strawberry edition for double diamond flavors. Not a bad flavor at all. There's no nicotine in it, of course, so just gotta put that out there as usual. We're pushing about 70 watts, 22,659 puffs since I've gotten this thing, 0.18 ohms on a alpha braid coil build from Geek Vape, which is a pre-built coil, not built by yours truly, but by Geek Vape, and they work really well in this limitless tank. Definitely good flavor coming off that. And last night I fully charged up my 18650 batteries. These beauties for the Athena Squonker. Let's see how she's doing at full power. I just put an 18650 in there. I haven't used it yet, so let's see what she got. Cock-a-doodle dang. And we still got a good bit in that Squonker. I never have to worry about too much when it comes to squonking. Always got a good amount in there. There we go. She's all squonked up. And rockin' flavor for days. Dang. That's some good flavor right there. Alright. That's got the last of my watermelon twist, not my watermelon twist, my strawberry Sprite in there along with a little bit of menthol, so that's always good flavor. Definitely waking up for the morning, going to work soon, about an hour and a half, so that'll be kind of awesome. Not sure how well I'll do because I've never done a dishwashing job. I've dishwashed at my parents' house before, but they've got a dishwasher, so I'm hoping that, well, as in the machine, not a person. So now, hopefully it'll be pretty easy for the next 4 hours, make a little bit of money, hopefully be able to continue there. It'll be pretty fun. Good flavor coming off this thing. Alright, so now we'll get into the trick shot. So I've done tutorials on tricks before, and I'm not sure how well I was able to do it before, but today we're going to be doing some simple tricks. The ones I know, we're going to be covering the dragon, the ring, or O's, the Bane, and half dragon. So technically the dragon's split into two parts. It's the half dragon and full dragon. Full dragon is where it comes out both sides and through your nose at the same time. Half dragon is where it just comes out the two sides of your mouth. Now, both tricks are pretty easy. The half dragon's pretty easy to know. The full dragon is a little harder. We'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to start off with something semi-simple. Most people learn this as their first trick, which is the O's or rings. Really simple, really easy to do once you get the hang of it. And most people, they want to start with we'll start off with the formation of the mouth first. So you want to make sure that your mouth is your lips are moderately wet, not like soaked with spit or anything, but just enough to not be dry and cracked and mess up the formation of your O's. Now, once you've got those all done, you notice I'm licking my lips a little bit, trying to get them okay-ish. Alright, so also chapstick helps too in this case, just to get rid of the cracks and the obstructions in the ring. So next you want to practice the formation of your lips. So let's start off with a simple formation. Most people start off with something like this. Something like that, that last bit. Now you want to curl your lips just slightly over your teeth like this. And once you got that face going, it does look ridiculous without the cloud, but once you use the cloud in combination with that, that's the formation you want to have. And it's a little harder to do when you're not looking in the mirror, or in my case, looking at a camera doing it back at you. But it does get easier as you go through it. So next up, we're going to practice the pushing motion for the cloud. Now, when you take a normal vape like this, you just do this. You're pushing it out, right? You're blowing it out of your mouth or your lungs, and you're pushing it into the air. Now, with that, you have a similar motion, but you have a form of quote-unquote coughing, a semi-cough sound. So you want to make this sound. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Now that sound is pushing. It's creating you're basically using your stomach and your esophagus to push it out at the same time. So what you want to do, we'll combine that all together now for the ring. Now, a lot of people don't have that semi-coughing motion down, so most people will revert to tapping the side of their cheek while in that formation, or the underside of their vocal cords, which is right here. Most people will resort to tapping there, or that sound right there. Now, it's a pretty simple and easy way to go about it, and that's pretty much the easiest way. I can't really do it that way anymore, but I will try it for the first timers, so let's see if I can still do it. See how I'm not getting any real rings? That's how it starts off, and then you get the formation right, and you get maybe one or two small rings. Some professionals can actually do whole strings of rings or O's down in that movement, and that's called Cheerios. Now, Cheerios are where you do tiny, tiny rings, and they just come out one after the other by doing that. I'm not the best at doing it that way, but I tend to do it just the standard coughing motion for my Cheerios. So let's start off with the first, my motion for it, and show you guys how to make a ring. So let's do it. Notice how I'm doing that coughing motion. You might be able to see a movement of my stomach going in and out like that while I'm making that ring, and you might have even heard the semi-coughing sound while I was blowing those rings. I blew quite a few of those simply so you guys could kind of see the formation of my mouth in combination with that. Now, translating to yourself, it is subjective and it is difficult it's different for every person. So try and experiment with your mouth formations as you do it. Me, I like to take a lot of Vaporin so that I can have enough to play with and use it in different tricks. So that's about as easy as it comes for how that works. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera for a second there, guys. Had to take care of some stuff real quick. Alright, so we finished up rings, which is a pretty easy trick. We're going to move on to the next trick, which is the second easiest, which is the half dragon. The half dragon is where you have this simple formation. So again, You want to make sure your lips are moderately can't English today. You want to make sure your lips are moderately wet so it doesn't mess it up, and it makes it a little easier. There we go. All right, so the next formation with your mouth is pretty simple. You want to do something like this. Now, for those of you just starting out, you can actually take your finger and separate it into two streams like that. So you want to take a lot of vapor in, as much as you physically can without coughing, and you put your finger in front of your mouth like this. And and then you blow out. That separates it into two streams. Some people can do it without the next trick and just use their mouth separately and without their tongue. Me, I use my tongue because I haven't gotten to that part yet, but like that. Just separating it into two streams with your tongue, so you don't always have to put your finger up like that. So let's do that right now with the finger. We'll do the first one with the finger so you guys can get the first look at it and see how to do it. So let's do that. Notice how it's split into two streams. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Half dragon with the finger. Next up, half dragon with your tongue. See that? Really simple, really easy. Then, now we'll go for the full dragon. The full dragon is a little harder because you have to practice blowing out of your mouth and your nostrils at the same time. So, we'll do that. You want to practice before you start with the vape. You want to practice, or with the vape, you want to practice blowing it out of your nose and out your mouth at the same time. But we'll start off with just the nostrils first. So, make sure your nasal passages are clear, otherwise you'll get what I sometimes have, which is just one stream coming out and one just trickling out. So, let's see what we can do. There you go. See how it came out my nose? That's going to be the part of the next trick. We'll get into that in a minute. Next, we want to practice the half dragon that we were talking about before. Then you want to practice blowing out your nose and your mouth at the same time, kind of keeping your palate or your the nasal flap in your mouth in the middle. So you're practicing pushing it out your nose and your mouth at the same time like this. Notice how it came out my nose and my mouth at the same time. It's a little difficult to master, and some people who have really high VG or PG juices can do really thick billowy clouds and make it come down really far and out the sides at the same time. I don't really have that in this. So we'll try it one more time and I'll try and do it a little slower for you guys. Notice how the nostril streams went down and into the two side clouds. That's what you're looking for. That's how you do the dragon. Alright, so before we move on to the next trick, I'm going to take a minor break from my Avenger and kind of use my Athena Squonk for a little bit, because it gives really thick clouds. I'm going to pause this for just a second and get a cup of water. Now that I'm back, it's important to note that whatever you do, whatever these tricks you do, they are not just built for stuff like your rebuildables, like this kind of stuff. You don't have to have a really complex vape with rebuildable tanks or to accomplish this. You don't have to use just a Squonk box or RDA or rebuildable. You can do all of those tricks that I mentioned with tanks like these, with your replaceable atomizers and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it. They all work the same way. So it's really simple to do that. So before we end this off, I'm going to do one last trick and show you guys how to do it. So this last trick is called the Bane. The Bane is where you do, or it's basically called a French inhale, but for vapors it's called a Bane. Now, a lot of you probably know it from if you've smoked cigarettes or done anything else. You basically take your vapor or smoke and you push it out, you cock your head back slightly, and breathe in through your nose, creating a circular wind tunnel between the two, so that you're pulling it into your nose from your mouth, like this. Really simple, easy trick. So maybe you guys can practice that out a little bit on your own, and leave some comments. Tell me which tricks you guys have mastered. It's really cool. It's a really fun way to do some tricks here and there. But until tomorrow with the Super Saiyan Sundays, I'm going to be going to do my work in a little bit over at Metatronos. So please be sure to leave your comments and questions in the crotch box. Be sure to like and subscribe, ring that notification bell so you guys stay up to date on all updates and postings from the VVR. So as always, I'm your host, Michael Cobb, and these have been the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys. Bye, guys.